another big game
right
on the schedule at South Carolina. Tough place to
right very very tough place to play. We've had some success winning games. We haven't had a lot of success, scoring points. Of course, the last 2 times we were there, we got beat down pretty bad, and so for whatever reason, we just have not had our best offensive performances there, and certainly South Carolina's gotten the best of us the last 2 times there. So we've just got to execute the plan. We got to focus on the things we can control and manage the things we can't.
What's the first thing you'd like to do Saturday when you take the field? I mean, do you want to try to take the crowd out of it? Try to score quickly? What are you looking for?
Well, it's not much of a secret. If we win the coin toss, we'll defer. I want the ball to start the second half, and I like letting our defense play first. But the only way to take the crowd out is to just score points and get big stops and do it on a consistent enough basis. But that fan base they're pretty exceptional, and it's going to take a lot more than a touchdown or 2 to keep them from getting excited. So I doubt very much we can just quiet them down at all. They're just going to get more and more rowdy, would be my bet.
What was the mood of your team 2 years ago in Columbia after that bad day?
It was a bad day. It was, there wasn't much you could say other than we just got whipped. Offense, defense, special teams, coaching, and I think sometimes when you have a game like that, there's no possible way anybody can point a finger at another group and say, well, I did my part and they didn't do their part. And we don't do that at Georgia anyway, but I mean, there was just no way anybody could think that way. So we all knew we were in this thing together. We all took responsibility for the things we didn't do well. And we knew the only chance we had was to stick together and keep fighting. And, to their credit and to our credit, we did that.
What do you use from that game to prepare for this one?
Just know that it's going to be a mighty battle. It's going to be a very hostile environment. And we're going to have to manage the noise. And we're going to have to try to, communicate without saying a whole lot out loud. It's going to be a lot of nonverbal communication. And everybody's got to be locked in and focused, or it's going to be a long day.
Since there's just a bye weekend, and with all the Ray Rice controversy in the news, what advice do you give your boys to stay out of trouble?
We have a lot of people come by to talk to our guys about all types of different things. And matter of fact, last week we had Athens Clark County Police come by and talk to our guys about some things, and we'll have former players come by and talk about all kind of different issues that tend to get young men over the years. We have a character education class that we have that we meet on a weekly basis on Thursdays, and we spend 30 minutes just talking about core values and leadership and things of that nature. So we do a lot of those types of things, and but unfortunately, life happens out there sometimes, and guys don't always make the best decisions. And I'm not talking about just Georgia players. I'm talking about young men across America, and that age from 18 to 25, before that frontal lobe fully develops, guys tend to act first and think later, and that's a bad thing.
Coach, it is, Coach, the frontal lobe.
It's the frontal lobe, I can promise you.
For as good a game as Todd had against Clemson, do you feel like he's got that game in him, but to help take a little bit of pressure off of Hudson? Kind of, he's played in some big games.
Well, Todd played well, but I thought all of our backs played well. I thought our line played well. I think certainly a running game helps a quarterback. There's no doubt about that. If people respect your run, they respect your play-action pass. It creates more space to throw the ball and probably more time to throw it as well. When you got D linemen trying to stop the run and then transition to a pass rush, it's different than just pinning your ears back knowing that the ball's going to get thrown. So there's a lot of advantages to having a good running game. Another thing is being able to finish a game like South Carolina did against East Carolina, and hold the ball for 10 minutes at the end of the game. The way we were able to finish our game against Clemson, by pounding the ball and not having to put it up in the air. So, part of the reason why we didn't have a lot of passing stats is we didn't have to throw it much in the second half. So, I know we know how to throw the ball, and Hudson's a good player.
You're down, looks like you're down 2, possibly 3 wide receivers in this game. There's been a lot of concern that Georgia can't stretch the field. I mean,
Right.
do you feel comfortable with the personnel that you have?
Well, we got some guys that can still run out there and can create some issues there, but obviously it's not as many as we've had in the past, and there's not there's just not a lot of depth going into this game at that position. So hopefully everybody stays healthy throughout the game, and we do a good job of substituting the guys we have, and hopefully it'll be enough.
If you're calling a long pass, who do you think you would peg to be out there for it?
Well, I've seen Michael Bennett catch deep balls. I've seen Chris Conley. We've seen Reggie Davis. You know, we've got guys that can get downfield. Yes, ma'am.
Speaking on health and injuries, Michael Adams is working with the Knights Commission and NCAA to help with concussion study for UVA's football and women's soccer. Are you guys being done, or your take on it?
Well, I think it's I think we're on the cutting edge of those types of things. You know, Ron Corson, who's our director of sports medicine, is very well known and renowned, I think, in those types of issues, and a lot of people ask him what he thinks about how players should, how we should diagnose things, how we should on the front end get a baseline of what's normal for balance and cognitive abilities, and what's the best way to return a player to play after a concussion, or make a decision not to play anymore. I mean, so I think we all care very much about that subject, and I'm glad there's more studies on it. Thank you.